There are days in your life that will stand out, that you will remember, that you will remember when you're in high school, that you will remember when you're in college, and that you will remember when you talk to your children about rights and equality and a belief that runs truly deep inside of a good person. Today is an extremely special day for us.
Ubuntu is a word that has been dear and close to my heart from the first time I heard Archbishop Desmond Tutu say these words. It is the power of the human spirit in sharing our common humanity. I am because you are. And Ubuntu became an integral part of the Worlds Apart, Hearts Together project.
The Worlds Apart, Hearts Together project is a true community campus partnership. We worked with the University of Washington Comparative History of Ideas program, the School of Social Work, the College of Education. We worked with also Shoreline Community College, and then of course Washington Middle School itself, and the students from South Africa from the Amy Biehl Foundation, and then Book It Theater.
Worlds Apart, Hearts Together, my hopes were to learn the lessons from South Africa while applying them to our own community, because South Africa has so much to teach and so much that we can learn from. And Washington Middle School is a very diverse, wonderful community that has not had the opportunity to share each other's cultures and identities, and this was a way of opening the door for that process. And it was actually surprisingly very successful on many levels, because not only did the students get an opportunity to get to know each other, but the staff did, and all the administration, teachers, everyone in the building became part of that community. Worlds Apart, Hearts Together also gave us the opportunity to bring 6 wonderful South African students here who came from Khayelitsha Township. And it gave them the opportunity to engage in Washington Middle School, but as well as engaging with the families of Washington Middle.
The lessons we can learn from South Africa can be imparted, I think, to all parts of the world. I think I myself thought I was, you know, a good citizen and fairly active and involved. And yet the first time I went to South Africa in October 1993, it was like not just looking at South Africa, but I think it was an immediate reaction to looking and comparing my own country, the United States, and how indeed we had similarities. Yes, there were differences, but how being in a different country made me look at things. And I felt that through the last 13 years, I've seen so much, and I've seen amazing talent and hope.
I'm hoping, and I'm very much hoping that so many people have read about this Amy Biehl story. So when it plays in front of their eyes, my only hope is that they can learn that these are the possibilities when people are so eager to learn, to look around themselves and be open on their hearts and have positive mindset as well. Yeah, I have no doubts that they know a lot about South Africa. They've read about it. So when they see the energy in these kids, they'll be so amazed at where these people come from, but they still have this warmth within their hearts. Opening up hearts, it's one of the things that I'm hoping that the kids will be left with.
I think Desmond Tutu's ability to tell a simple story and have it touch you was what really got to me.
I just wanted to tell you a little story. There was a little boy who was fascinated because he saw a man standing at a street corner. And this man was selling balloons. And the balloons were inflated. And he held them with pieces of string. And what fascinated the little boy was that each time this man let go of a balloon, the balloon would float into the sky. Green balloon, white balloon, red balloon, black balloon. And the little boy said, "Excuse me, sir. How come when you let go of the balloon, green balloon, white balloon, red balloon, black balloon, it floats into the sky?" And the man said, "Ah, my boy, it's not the color of the balloon that matters. It is the stuff inside."
Like I can say now, we are coming there to introduce ourselves and to represent South African youth, you see, with different kinds of skills, you see. Like as you say, as Akona is saying, dancing and what, and negotiating, you see, things like that, yeah.
So I think the issue here is there a way to take a story from another place, South Africa, and make it relevant for Seattle? And specifically make it relevant for 8th graders, which is always a good thing.
So the first day we brought together the entire 8th grade, and the first part of the program was we actually divided them all up and put everybody into new groups. New classes, people in groups with people they've never met before, even though they all go to school together. So what happened was the entire 8th grade walked together from Washington Middle School to the Langston Hughes Cultural Center. And there they saw Book It Theater do a fabulous production of Cry the Beloved Country.
We've taken parts of Cry the Beloved Country and tried to tell the story in an hour for the students at Washington Middle School. And basically, the idea behind this style of theater is to allow the words and the storytelling to really cross the barriers of what we in our American culture are so used to in terms of television and film, so that you actually hear the narration of the book, so you're aware of the fact that this is written first, and then the performers tell the story live. They use the language of the book.
We shall live in fear! Cry, the beloved country, for the unborn child that is the inheritor of our fear. Let him not laugh too gladly when the water runs through his fingers, nor stand too silent when the setting sun makes red the fields with fire, nor give too much of his heart to a mountain nor a valley. For fear will rob him of all if he gives too much.
Our lives will shrink, and we shall live in fear. The people ask for more police.
Well, during the week, what we did was twofolded. We had a humanities part and we had a drama part. So combining them together gave an opportunity for the kids to express themselves creatively, but then also to challenge themselves intellectually.
The intervention was with 8th grade students at Washington Middle School. There were 300 students divided into 10 different classes of 30. We had assistance from many different sources, one of them being the Comparative History of Ideas program at the University of Washington.
The CHID students, these undergraduates, and they aren't all CHID students, but the majority are CHID, Comparative History of Ideas. I think the most powerful program on campus right now. The students who come out of that program are really committed to going out into the world and making a difference. Come up with Ernest, and say your name? Ashley with Mickey up there. So everybody has one. Yes! Yes, that's so good.
And the way in which we structured the intervention is after the students witnessed the play.
Why did you not struggle against him? I do not know!
We processed the play a bit, and what we did is had them do one words that represented the meaning or the feeling that they got from the play. And so we just had the students brainstorm throughout this auditorium what the play meant to them.
This is in response to the work and the stories that you've seen here today. Emotion, pain, angry, suffering, appreciation, incrimination, hope, union, friendship, fear, perseverance, forgiveness, struggle, hope, forgiveness, heartfelt, empathy, compelling, empathy, enlightening, live strong, kindness, honesty, strength, responsibility, forgiveness, fantastic, impressive, ignorance, wisdom, empowering, dignity, justice, pride, intensity, cooperation, humanity, fear, joy, clever, angry, humility, honesty, humility, determination, equality. Okay.
So the South African story is I think Tutu in one of his writings talked about that South Africa has gifts for the world, and they have multiple gifts. But one of the gifts is the way they have tried to address conflict, and that is a gift, right? And it's a really tough thing to do. Forgiveness and reconciliation are really hard things.
And so I want to say to you, you have made an incredible start in this school. You have been given an incredible start in celebrating diversity, in being like this orchestra here. They have different instruments, and they are an orchestra precisely because they are different instruments, and then they play together. The world needs so very much to know that we are different, not in order to be separate. We're different in order to be those who complement one another. That's the only way we are going to win the war against terror. You won't ever win the war against terror as long as there are people somewhere who are desperate because of hunger, of poverty. And God says, I need you. Help me to make this world a different place. And you are great. God believes in you. God believes that you, and you will make a difference.
I will make a difference!
I will make a difference!
been interesting. We've talking to the students a lot about, I've talked to them about Desmond Tutu and about the Amy Biehl story and about Cry the Beloved Country. And we kind of talked a lot about forgiveness and asked them if, you know, if somebody in your family was killed, would you be able to forgive somebody? And they tend to say no. But then when you ask them if you can understand how somebody could do that, then they start coming up with, well, I mean, if you understand the circumstances, or you try to look and see where somebody is coming from, and then we kind of get into the bigger picture of forgiveness. And what does that feel like to forgive somebody? And what does that taste like? And then we go kind of look at things in a poetic form, so we kind of take structure out and say, okay, well, what does forgiveness smell like? What does it taste like?
For those of us that we called sort of on the humanities side of things, which was the critical analysis, being in the classroom with the students and really asking important, hard questions, we met for months before, once a week, and really tried to come up with an engaging curriculum for these students. We were asking ourselves, what would 8th grade middle schoolers, what would keep them engaged, what would excite them, what would make them want to participate, and also have them look at themselves, their community, and again, South Africa. And how do we draw those connections? Why is Seattle like, you know, how is Seattle similar to South Africa? How is Seattle different than South Africa? How do we look at race differently here than in South Africa? Things like that. And I mean, it was really incredible, some of the things that the students were coming up with.
And what we had the students do on the second day that we got together was to brainstorm a poem from the list. And so the students had to understand the words and then use those words in a creation of their own poems.
Forgiveness brings hope and new beginnings. It takes integrity and courage to forgive someone. Suffering brings unity among people. Hope can lead to equality.
Also in the same poem, next line, it takes integrity and courage to forgive someone. How does it take integrity and courage to forgive someone? Someone explain that to me. Yes.
Well, because if someone has done something to hurt you, it's kind of hard to forgive them because it kind of makes you angry how that person treated you, and they might not know you as well as someone else. So it's kind of hard to forgive someone that's hurt you when you haven't done anything to them.
You need to translate ideas from your head to your belly, right, to your heart. And that's one of the things that arts does, is I think it translates ideas that we tend to hold in our head, and we feel them viscerally in our bodies and our hearts. And I think that's what the play did. Now, can that be translated from a play and from something that happened in South Africa, which is far away and different? Can that be made meaningful to the kids' lives? I mean, that's the big question, right? And to our lives, not only the kids, but to our lives.
Take the high road. Stand my ground. Stare.
Judge. Stare.
Judge. Stand my ground. Awkward.
Uncomfortable. Stereotype.
Racist. Stand my ground. High road.
High road. High road.
High road. Take the high road.
What we're going to learn is a basic greeting in Xhosa, so that when our guests from the Gugulethu Township come into our class, you can properly say hello to them in their language. And also we're going to learn the Xhosa handshake. Hello is molo. Molo. Then you say, how are you? Unjani. Which I am butchering. Unjani. And then to say, I'm fine, Indipalile.
Okay, hello guys. Hey, my name is Thembaletu. Thembaletu, yes. It's difficult to say it to you, but it means our hope. My name means that, our hope. So if I'm your hope, I would like that. You see, like we are going to talk to you, so please don't be shy. You see, be open, relax, feel at home. This is your home, you see. So we be able to talk to us, you see.
You could probably yell through the hallway and go, Shosholoza, and someone else will answer, Shosholoza, because so many people know it. Because we've had this association with South Africa for about 5 years. So we're going to teach you this song. This is a fun song.
Shosholoza, Shosholoza, uye imase ule zontaba stimela siphume South Africa. Shosholoza, we the people of South Africa recognize the injustice of our past, honor those who suffered for justice and freedom in our land, respect those who have worked to build and develop our country, and believe that South Africa belongs to all who live in it, united in our diversity. We therefore see through freely our elected representatives adopt this constitution as the supreme law of the Republic. We thank you.
Another wonderful experience is when the South African students were teaching the Washington Middle School students how to sing Shosholoza. The joy and the spirit in the eyes of these Washington Middle School students, who some of them had never even opened their mouths before, and now they were singing with such joy and such pride, and how everyone came together.
I think what happens when you have students engage in things like drama is it just isn't activating your head, it's activating your heart and your emotions. And that's what creates moments where you can have a transformative experience, where you change the way you look at things because it just isn't in your head anymore. It's in your heart. And I think that's really what this work is about. It's like being in the understanding business, and I don't think there's any more important quality than that ability to be able to see through somebody else's eyes, put yourself in somebody else's shoes.
The students from South Africa additionally had an opportunity to participate in a workshop with Bridges to Understanding. They created digital stories, and at the beginning of their stay, they were given digital cameras, and they documented their friends, their host families, and all of the places they visited throughout their stay.
And so what we wanted to do with Bridges is set up a two-way communication, something where these cultures could communicate on an equal playing field, where there wasn't just us bringing our content into their lives, where they could share their content from their point of view, with their voices, their eyes, they could share it with us. And that's the real meaning behind Bridges, or the real hope for Bridges. And in this sharing that we can build understanding, build an appreciation for diversity, and build mental flexibility in young people around different worldviews.
We are doing a workshop about how to use cameras, and we are doing our own movies about our cameras.
Hi, my name is Thembaletu. My last name is Zwele. I'm 16 years old. I'm in 10th grade. I'm from South Africa, Cape Town. In our visiting in Seattle.
My name is Akona. I'm from South Africa, but I'm here now, the United States of America, at Seattle. I like to perform acting, music, dancing, poetry, storytelling. I like to do it because it brings all the people together here in Seattle. At the Washington Middle School, we used to go to the classes, teach the classes, teach them songs, we teach them handshakes. We went to many schools here in Seattle. We perform every day.
My name is Pindile. My surname is Jas, and I come from South Africa in a township called Khayelitsha in Cape Town. and I live in Graceland. And I'm very proud of myself. Like I walk like from South Africa, now I'm in America, in a city called like Seattle, a beautiful city. It's like we have something we talk in our culture. It's like izandla ziyagezana, one hand watch another hand. So that means it's about a relationship. How do people live, with a relationship?
Ngosisikeleli Afrika maluphakanyiswa uphondo lwayo. My name is Pritam Laza and I'm 15 years old. I'm in grade 9 in Joslovo High and I live in South Africa in Cape Town, and I live with my grandmother and I love my grandmother. They involve us to perform their play, Cry the Beloved Country. I like to perform for the audience.
I was excited, but it was a long flight, got bored, and there was little space to move. Right? It was a big space so that we can move and run. You see, I've seen pictures and read about it, about Seattle, and seen some pictures. It was good. When we went to the baseball game, it was so excited. I was so crazy to meet Ichiro. I was so crazy to see him when he's playing. The most fun I've had here is to visit the Washington Middle School. It's been fun, it's been interesting to meet young people at my age.
So in this life there are struggles that lead people to be lazy. If you want to dance. Everyone can learn from each other. So we as young people, we can teach people who are young. We can teach old people.
My name is Unatingwane. I'm 12 years old. After school, I go to my drama group to rehearse. What we do is drama, music, dance, and poetry. And we are sponsored by Biehl Foundation. Me and the others had a chance to come here, and Laurie is the one who collected money to pay for our trip. When we arrived here in Seattle, we had a lot of fun. E.g., we went to Washington Middle School, but we were also performing in many schools, and we didn't just perform, we also had fun going to parties, Space Needle, Mountain Rainier, and we just took pictures of each other. When I was coming here, I thought I will not sleep well, but I was wrong. I slept like I am home. So, thank you, Biehl Foundation. Special thanks to Laurie, Dobeko, Makulu Olinda.
I do think that this South African trip will maybe change some of the kids from not talking to people of other races to talking to people of other races, just because they see that these kids are no different than anybody else. Even if they look different, they're just as happy. They just wanna be known,
Before Desmond Tutu came, like our schools would be like separated, like whites with whites, Asian with Asian, blacks with blacks. And after he came and talked to us about racial groups and how we're just like all the same, and then the next day it surprised me like how everyone they got together.
When you teach someone who want to know, you become very happy in your life, even in your heart. You do it with love. What I like also about Seattle and like America, the family is like united, When it's like if you can see the family here are united, like all the family, like your mother and your father and your brothers and sister, you are sitting in the same house. When you are sharing like the dinner or breakfast, you are sitting in one table. It's whereby you can share your ideas. You get that chance to talk with your parents and get that love so that your parents can see you, You can sit with your children, know about your children, know about your family. I like that one. It's a good relationship because like if you like your family, you will love all the people. Whether you are which color, you can be connected to the people. You can share a good quality relationship with a person. life is not about the color. You can see the world is very big, but if you know different kind of cultures and different kinds of people, the world will be small. It will be small because, like, you know, there is people like this and people like this. So that means that we as people, we must be together, whether you are which culture, which color. That means that we must be together.
When we perform, they give us a chance, you see. And then when we perform, we like to include audience, so they participate all the time.
On the last day of the week, the intensive week of programming, we all came together for a 8th grade assembly. Now, the excitement in the air is something that I will always remember because the students, for the first time, were running to come into the gymnasium. They were so excited to see the South African students perform, and they were excited to sit next to their new friends and to be in an environment that they normally would not have been comfortable doing before.
Each of us has a dream. Each of us has a strong desire to see the world be a better place tomorrow. But it starts with each of us inside here, and in the words we speak, and the actions we take.
I heard one of the students, as he was coming down on the floor to partake in this wonderful moment of dancing and joy and the drumming of the beats from the South African students playing, and he said, "I wish school was like this all the time. I'm so excited about learning now, and I'm so excited about being here."
If you dream, if you think about what's to come and what could come and what it might look like, amazingly, things will happen.
I'm not starting again, but I was just telling the principal here that I think I like this school. It's got, they call it tone. The tone of this place is right. And you can catch it in the air. You realize that you are in a place of excellence, and I'm proud to have been allowed to come and share a little bit in your excellence. Say, I will make a difference. How about standing up and let's hear you? Come on, we stand. What? Shh. I'm the conductor. You say, after I say 3, then you say, I will make a difference. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Worlds apart, hearts together. My hope is that it will carry on beating and thriving. And as Archbishop Desmond Tutu articulated, that we want to carry on with our hearts beating together, but yet appreciating our diversities in a way that we become more tolerant, more compassionate for it, and better understanding of each other across the world, across the hallway, across the table.